Hello students, today we start a new chapter number 4, specification of a subject professional practice and valuation. In this chapter we discuss about what is specification, then after importance of the specification, purpose or necessity of the specification, and types of specification, and general specification for a first class building and second class building, and also discuss about the detailed specification of various items. So first let's we start a chapter with a introduction or a definition of a specification. So first, what is specification? So a detailed description of a quality of material workmanship required to complete the engineering project in accordance with its drawing, and detail is known as a specification. So here drawing do not furnish the detail of different items of the work. The quality of the material and proportion of mortar and workmanship which are described in a specification. So in a drawing only dimension is given, but not a detailed description is given, like a proportion, like we use the concrete. So in a concrete different grade of the concrete is generally used. So in a grade of the concrete not described or given in a drawing, but if we provide another supportive document like a specification documents as a supportive document, so in this specification we describe or give a details of the different items or workmanship in a easy form. So here the specifications show the following details, like types and quality of materials, then after methods for a preparation of item, then after quality of workmanship, methods for a measurement of an item, and other detail related to items. So here we discuss about the some important points of importance of specification. So here sometime it is not possible to furnish the information on drawing regarding the quality of material to be used and quality of workmanship to be achieved during the construction time, and due to shortage of the space, specification provides such a useful data in a separate contract document. So here the drawing and the specification from a two important contract document. In case of the discrepancy between the drawing and the specification, the provisions of a specification are given more legal strength and shallow govern, and the rate of item depends on the specification. If the specification are rigid and demand for a superior quality, and the rate of item will be increased, and vice versa, and specification are necessary during the supervising the work. The specification of item are required by the contractor to fill the rates of item during the tender documentation work. Now next in a slide we discuss about the purpose or necessity of a specification. So here necessity is given one by one, we discuss. So first we to describe the quality of different material required for the construction work. So here different quality of the material available in the market, and different types of the material also available in the market. So we use the which type of the material in a particular work or particular to complete the construction work. So here description is easily given in a specification. Then after, to enable the department, engineer, architect, and contractor to define, procure, and check the material quality as per the specification. So if the supportive document is provided, like tiles work, so in a tiles work these type of the particular any company is given. So this type of the work is done on a construction site or not is easily we check or verify by the engineers, and to specify the quality of workmanship and method doing the same, and fourth one is a specification are required to clarify the drawing. Now here another necessity is a specification are helpful to contractor in filling the rates of various item in a tender work, and specification of a work serve the guide to the supervising staff of the owner as well as the contractor to execute the work to their satisfaction or not, and specification are necessary to verify and check the strength of material for a work. Now specification is an essential contract document and is required to arbitration. So what is arbitration? Is a dispute between the contractor and owner, and court cases. So specification is required, and in a specification is necessary to specify the equipment, tools and plant engaged for the work, and thus enable to procure them beforehand. So here in the next slide we discuss about the types of specification. So there are main two types of the specification. First is a brief specification, and second one is a detailed specification. So what is brief specification? So brief specification gives the nature and class of the work and material in a general term to be used in the various part of the work from the foundation to superstructure, and only a brief description of each and every item is given, and it is useful for estimating the project. They give a general idea of whole work. So here second type of the specification is a detailed specification. So the detailed specification for a particular item specify the quality, quantity and proportion of material and the method of preparation and execution for the particular item of a work in a project. The detailed specification of a different item of a work are prepared separately and describe what the work should be and how they shall be executed and constructed. And in a physical and chemical electrical test, if any required for the finish the work to be to ensure that the desired strength and quality are specified in a detailed specification. So the type of a machinery, equipment and special tools and plant, their method of operation during the execution and described in the detailed specification, and various engineering departments like CPWD and state PWD and such other organization prepare the detailed specification of a various item of works. So here in the next slide we discuss about the general specification of a first class building. So here different point or different parts of the building or a different work is given. First is a foundation and plinth. So in a foundation and plinth shall be of a first class brickwork in a lime mortar or of a ratio of 1:6, and cement mortar over lime concrete or 1:4:8 cement concrete is generally used. And second specification is for a first class building is a damp proof course. Second building component is a DPC. So DPC shall be 2.5 centimeter thick cement concrete. Cement concrete of a ratio is a 1:1.5:3, or 2 centimeter thick cement mortar mixed with a suitable waterproofing compound as specified and painted with 2 coats of bitumen. Third specification of the first class building for a superstructure is that superstructure shall be of a first class brickwork in a 1:6 cement mortar, and lintel over the door and window shall be of a RCC work. Now next one is the roofing. So roofing, the roof shall be 10 centimeter thick RCC slab with a 10 centimeter average thick lime terracing over it, or and height of the room shall not be less than 3.7 meter, means 12 feet, And next class general specification for flooring is given is that flooring shall be in a mosaic, cotta stone, marble, ceramic tiles, etc. are used as specified over a layer of not less than 75 centimeter 75 thick, and cement concrete of a ratio 1:5:10 or rich mix are generally used in a flooring. Now next specification for finishing work is that inside and outside finishing shall be 12 thick cement mortar is plastered, and the inside of the drawing, dining and bedroom shall be distempered, and remaining portions whitewash 3 coats are applied, and outside shall be 2 coats decorative waterproofing cement coating is compulsory required. Now next specification for door and window is door and window chokhut or a frame shall be of a seasoned teak wood, and shutter shall be of a 3 centimeter thick teak wood. Paneling is used, and brass fitting shall be provided, and door and window shall be uh, painted with a 2 coat. Painting is compulsory required, and at the last miscellaneous is a rainwater pipe shall be cast iron or asbestos cement, and finished painted. All the sanitary, water supply and electric fittings shall be of a first class material generally used in a first class buildings. Now in the next slide we discuss about the principle of writing specification. Here general specification for a second class building. So here first is the foundation and plinth. So in a second class building, foundation and plinth shall be of a first class brickwork with a lime mortar over a lime concrete, and second is a damp proof course. So for a damp proof course shall be of a 2 centimeter thick cement mortar of a ratio 1:2 mixed with a suitable waterproofing compound as a specified. And third specification for a superstructure for a second class brick is a superstructure shall be of a second class brickwork in a lime, and lintel over door and window shall be reinforced brickwork means RB. And fourth is a roofing. So for a second class building, roofing shall be reinforced brick shall be reinforced brickwork shall be with a 7.5 centimeter lime concrete terrace above the veranda. Roof may be of AC sheets or Allahabad tiles are generally used. And in a flooring, so the flooring shall be 2.5 centimeter cement concrete over the 7.5 centimeter lime concrete is required. And second last is finishing. The inside and outside wall shall be 12 thick cement mortar plastered, and inside shall be whitewash 3 coat, and outside color wash 2 coat over a 1 coat of whitewash is compulsory required. And in a door and window chokhut shall be RCC or a well seasoned salwood is generally used, and shutter of the 4 centimeter thick Deodar wood is generally used, and iron fitting shall be provided, and door and window shall be painted of a 2 coat over the 1 coat priming means primary is first coated, and then after another 2 coat painting work is applied over it. Now next is the principle of writing specification. So here some of the important points is given for writing. So here first principle of writing is a subject matter. So in a subject matter, specification should be related to the information required after the contract is given to a particular contractor. The quality and size of the material required to do an item of work shall be fully described, and the proportion of mixing shall be clearly described. So here in a subject matter, it's an important point. Second is the grammar. So while writing the specification, and over shall be made of express the requirement of specification clearly, and avoiding the repetition of avoiding the repetition and unusual words, and the style of tense shall be remain same throughout the uh, specification, and the sentence shall be short, simple, and concise. And as the specification are the legal document, the terms such as a suitable, properly used, and the words shall be or should be are used. So it's a important point in a grammar work. And third point for a principle of writing is a meaning. So the while drawing specification, only suitable word with a desired meaning should be used. Word more than one meaning shall be avoided. So here fourth point is a abbreviation. So only those abbreviation which are well known in the building industry shall be used without giving any definition, like RCC, DPC, uh, means PCC. So here RCC is all the construction industry know RCC is a reinforced cement concrete, DPC is a damp proof course, and PCC means plain cement concrete. So this type of the abbreviation is generally used without any giving definition. Now fifth one point is accuracy. So the information given in the specification should be complete, and otherwise the contractor may claim for any extra cost due to damage occurred to him by misleading information supplied by the owner. Now sixth one important point is fairness. The specification should be fair, and they should not be framed in such a way so as to throw all the risk on the shoulders of the contractor. So also all likely difficult hazards etc. Should be specified in a specification so as to give a clear picture of the work to the contractor. And now next is the seventh point is practicability. So in a practicability, specification should be framed while keeping in a view uh, practical limitation of the material and workmanship, and also specification should be specify use of the commercial size and pattern of the material, and it become expensive to manufacture special size, and it's also take a more time to prepare such type of the material or such type of the items. Now 8 point for the principle of writing of a specification is clauses of specification. So as far as possible, clauses shall be arranged in the order of which work shall be carried out. So this does not mean to follow the work according to order of causes. And ninth point is a workmanship. So here complete description of workmanship, the method of mixing of proportion, the method of laying, preparation of base, compaction, finishing, curing, etc. Shall be fully described, and specially applicable item of the work shall be clearly stated in a different clauses. And last and 10th principle of writing specification is a tools and plant. So the tools and plant to be engaged to carry out the work shall be described, and the method of operation and by whom to supply it shall be clearly stated in a tools and plant. So which type of the machinery or which type of the plant is required or machinery is required is fully described in a specification. Now next point is the detailed specification of the various items. So here some of the different item or different work done in a construction industries. So one by one we take a different items, and in a different item detailed specification is compulsory required in a before starting of the construction. So let's we start with a first item is earthwork in a excavation for a foundation. So here In a earthwork excavation in a foundation, there are main 7 points is compulsory we discuss as a specification. So first is excavation, then after access in a excavation, third point is water in a foundation, fourth one is finds, and fifth one is stacking of excavated earth, and sixth one is miscellaneous. So first is excavation. So before the excavation is earthwork is started, the whole area where the work is to be done shall be cleared of a grass, roots, or of a tree and other organic matter, and the side of the foundation trench shall be truly vertically, and its bottom shall be perfectly leveled, and the excavation shall be carried out exactly in accordance with the dimensions shown in a drawing, or such other dimension as the engineer in charge may be decide. If the soil is not good and does not permit a vertical side, the side should be sloped back or protected with a timber shoring. So soft or defective spots shall be dug out and removed, filled with a concrete or with a stabilized soil, and if the rock or boulders are found during the excavation, these should be removed, and bed of the trenches shall be leveled and made hard by the consolidated earth, and the bed of the trenches shall be lightly watered and well rammed, and foundation concrete shall not be laid before this inspection and approval of the trench by the engineering charge. And second point for the excavation is access in excavation. So access digging, if done through the mistake, shall be filled with a cement concrete of a ratio is a 1:4:8 at the expense of the contractor. No extra payment shall be made for this. Now third point is the water in a foundation. So here in a some time if water table is high, so we got the water during the excavation time or during the foundation work time. So water, if any accumulated in the trench, should be bailed or pumped out without any extra payment, and necessary precautions shall be taken to prevent the surface water to enter in the trench. Now fourth point is the finds. So any treasure or valuable of a material found during the excavation shall be property of the government. So it's a government point. And fifth one is stacking of excavated earth. So normally no material excavated from the foundation trench shall be placed nearer to the 1 meter of the excavated area, and after the concrete has been laid, masonry has been constructed, the remaining portion of the trench shall be filled with earth in a layer of 15 centimeter and water and well rammed, and the surplus excavated material shall be separated out uniformly up to the lead of 30 meter. Now sixth point is the miscellaneous. So existing service like pipe, cables, etc. found in a trenches shall be temporarily stored and saved from any damage, and the cost of all the material and labor required for facing and protection against risk of the accident due to open excavation shall be provided. Now seventh is measurements and rate. So the measurements shall be taken in a cubic meter, measuring length, width of the concrete and depth of foundation from the ground level, and the rate shall be complete work of 30 meter lead and 1.5 meter lift, including all the tools and plant required for completion of the work, and for every extra lead of 30 meter and every extra lift of 1.5 meter, separate extra rate is provided. So these are the important specification given for a earthwork in a excavation for a foundation. In the next lecture we discuss about the different same detailed specification of the different items or various items. So here lecture is finished. Thank you.